Hello viewers, and welcome to another interesting edition of your motivational and life transforming program Rising Prime on your channel of choice, African Independent Television, AIT. On today's edition, we've got one of Africa's fast thriving evangelists all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, a former bus conductor and shoe repairer in the city of Lagos, Nigeria. Stay with me after the break and you meet my guest.
I am rising prime. No matter what may come my way, I will not give up on life.
I will not give up. I will not give up.
I am rising prime.
Welcome back, and if you're just tuning into your favorite independent television, you're just on set. Before we went on break the other time, I was about to introduce you to my guest. All the way from Nairobi, Kenya, join me to welcome Apostle Eric Israel Okere. It's a pleasure to have you on the program, sir.
Thank you.
For the benefit of our viewers, for the benefit of those that are probably meeting you for the very first time on here, they would like to know who Apostle Eric Israel Okere is actually.
I was born in the late 70s. I grew over the years. Passed through my normal home training in days. My father and my mother were all together. But it came to time when life began to hit us hard, and my mother died, and my father could not cope with the entire 6 of us. I was the only son. He needed assistance, but you could not get that kind of assistance anyhow. So he couldn't have access to that assistance, and so the children had to do 1 or 2 things to put life together. I remember then my sisters used to join me to go and hawk. We used to sell ugu on the road, we'd pick it from the farm, and then go to sell, then firewood, water leaf, anything sellable, just to make sure that the body and soul is still together. I'm the only son, so a lot of responsibility was put on my head. And my father told me to be responsible. He taught me how to, so I followed him and began to do few things just to make sure that everything worked out well. I finished primary school then. I finished with distinction. Then I moved to secondary school. By the time I entered secondary school, it was getting tougher for him to send everybody to school. So when he could no longer cope, I had to go and start staying with my uncle. Then he went back to the village to stay because he said he believed that he could prosper more in the village since he's already used to that setting. But I was born in Lagos, so I said I would stay in Lagos. So I stayed with my uncle. My uncle told me I had to fend for myself and face life. After a while, I left his house and started living with friends and putting my life together. It was at that period I had to, learn how to be a bus conductor, so I can put my body and soul together. So after school, I'll go and do conducting job. So in the evening, I return back home. The next morning, I return back to school, so as to put myself together. But I was not too gifted to be a conductor, so I was always having problem with the driver, because sometimes when people tells me they don't have money, I'll tell them to go. So the driver told me that I'm a very stupid boy. How could they tell you they don't have money and you let them go? And you said they gave back to you in Lagos, you just fight. Yeah, you fight, you seize their shoe, or just make sure you molest them so they'll pay you. I didn't have that kind of courage, and then I was already saved. I felt it was a sin for me to do such. So that was how they sacked me from being a conductor. So I met somebody in Deeper Life then who used to repair shoes. So he told me he can teach me how to repair shoes, and I will be free. Then I'll be having my shoemaking workshop, and that since everybody wears shoe on earth, that I will always sell. So I bought into the idea. I started repairing shoes. I became very famous because when I started repairing shoes, I was class captain, because God gave me grace to be brilliant in school. So I was class captain of JS2, JS3, SS1, as I was class captain. And so my teachers would come when they are passing, they will bring their shoes for me to repair, my schoolmates. So I learned the job for about 3 years. I started my own shoemaking workshop. People bring, my principal brought her shoes for me to repair, my Vice principal brings shoes, I repair the shoes. From there I began to pick up my life. But it got to a level that shoemaking could not sustain me because I only come after school to the workshop. And people polish their shoes early in the morning before they go, and I cannot sit in the shop. I had to go to school. So when I returned, the work was the only one that they gave me in school. So it got a bit tough for me to handle. So I had to think of what else to do. Then one of my friends taught me how to do barbing. He took me to a barbing workshop for 1 year. I learned how to barb hair. I had to, then clipper, electric clipper just came out. So I learned how to use super tapper to barb people's hair. So we started barbing people's hair because at least people must barb. But after a while, in a few months, a trend came in Nigeria where people like barbing afro. Their hair is so high, so they trim it once in 3 months. The poverty increased. So and poverty bites, man. Poverty stings, man. Poverty sting you, the level. And we couldn't eat. In those days, I go and buy beans. I will ask them to add a lot of water and put some pepper. So the reason is when I get home, I will separate the water from the real beans. So I'll use gari to eat the beans, then I'll keep the water side, which has stew, for a bar in the night. So it serves two purposes, but people will not know. So in the evening, I'll just make the eba and use that top of the beans that has the stew and the water to eat. Then in the morning, I'll go without food. In the afternoon, I'll buy the beans again. I buy me for me, see, put the water, put stew. For me, there, so they put more. So they did not know why I was asking for that. To me, that's my soup that I used to eat in the evening, eba in the evening. So those were the things I passed through. But it is very good to have given my life to Christ because that was what turned my story around at a certain point of my existence on earth.
All right, sir. You see, you are one of Africa's fast rising evangelists in Nigeria. You see a lot of people wonder, apostolic, why did he go to Kenya to open his church? Why didn't you open your church in Nigeria?
Okay. When I was in Nigeria, I was ordained and released into ministry as an evangelist. And I did the work of an evangelist for about 20 years, preaching on campuses because God sent me to the young persons of our generation, various campuses. I know many people that have been to the campus as I'm speaking now, they will remember me, to preach. And God also gave me a mandate against campus cultism. In the days when I was in Nigeria, campus cultism was disturbing and destroying the campuses. So I faced that then. I remember then Punch made me the man of the week, man of the year, man of the month then. Because I traveled to many campuses, close to 40 campuses, having crusades, Uniben, UI, Epoma, Auchi, Ekiado Local Education, Unilag, name the campus. I went to the University of Abuja, and my major aim is preach the word of God open air. My crusades were called Music and Miracle Jams. People come, of course I can sing, and then I bring in choir, but at the end of everything is geared at, making an altar call, and also asking cultists to come give their life to Christ. And I remember Uniben, about 73 of them gave their life to Christ, but under strong, intense power and the glory of God. Now I served God in that level as an evangelist. Then God opened my door to go to university. I attended Benson Dausa University. God took me to that university by a major miracle. I remember I did JAMB many times. I passed, but I was not taken. I remember I was kicked out of Ife, Obafemi Awolowo University, because I did not do literature and English. But I passed my JAMB. I was taken into law faculty. I attended the university for 1 semester. Before the end of the semester, they did some checks, and they said whoever did not do literature and English should be sent back home. So I was sent back home. I attended LASU for some time. I didn't like the course I was given, so I left. I attended DELSU, all kinds of university here and there, until God finally opened my door by favor to Benson Idasa University, where I studied sociology. While I studied sociology, one of the days, an opportunity opened for young leaders to be sent to Kenya, and the university sent me to Kenya with the student union president then. I was like the campus pastor, so we went. While I was there, God spoke to me and said he was going to open my door to return back to Kenya to raise for him a generation. So I thought it was going to be in distant future. So I returned back to Nigeria, and during my graduation, I discovered I was the best student. I came out the top of the set in my department and also in my faculty. Okay. And then because of the leadership grace that I had to marshal the campus and move people forward, I was also given the Vice Chancellor's Award. So the Vice Chancellor's Award gave me the opportunity to choose any country of my choice for further studies. So the school gave me scholarship. So they asked me the country I wanted to go to. So I remembered my covenant with God when I traveled to Kenya, so I told them Kenya. So I went to University of Nairobi to do my master's degree in advanced disaster management. And I'm also doing my PhD there now in Kenyatta University. But while I got to Kenya, God spoke to me and said I should start church here. It looked a bit odd to me because I am more known in Nigeria than Kenya. But God told me that he brought me here for my son to rise from the east, because Kenya is East Africa. So that made a lot of sense to me when he said my son will start rising from the east. So, but I've not really pastored the church before. I've planted churches, but I've not pastored before. I've planted churches in Brazil, I've planted churches in different parts, in Ghana, Ivory Coast, Benin. I've been to a few places to preach and plant churches. But even in Nigeria, I've planted some churches, but I'm not the direct pastor. I plant church, I'll stay there for a while, and then I hand over to the senior pastors, and they carry on, and they post another pastor, because I believed I was not a pastor, that I was an evangelist. But my father in the Lord, Reverend Joe Olaya, kept telling me that I should not limit myself, because God can ask me to do anything at any time. As long as you are useful to God, he can give you any assignment at any time. So when I went to Kenya, God spoke to me and said, start church. So I stayed indoors for 6 months. I wasn't going to anywhere. I kept on praying, asking God. I've not pastored the church before. I've started church before, but I didn't know how to pastor it. So teach me what to do. Give me the blueprint. And he gave me instruction that I wrote down. 6 months, every day praying, except when I had lectures and exams. When there were no lectures and I was indoors praying. And after 6 months, I put in registration, and within 90 days, they gave me certificate of registration. So I did my first crusade for 1 week. Few guys came, people from the slum, from everywhere. They came, we did the crusade. After the crusade, everybody went back. Some went back to their churches. Then one person started coming. So I started preaching to one person. Then my wife was pregnant, so I was preaching to that one person. In fact, that one person was like Melchizedek. Because whenever, I'm the only one that will give offering. This person does not give offering because the person needs transport fare. So after the service, the person will collect the offering as transport fare and go home. So we kept on like that for like a few weeks. Then people started coming, and then gradually the church started growing in Nairobi.
Viewers, it's getting sweeter and sweeter. Please stay with us. We'll be going on a very short break now. I will be right back.
I am rising pride. No matter what may come my way, I will not give up on life.
I will not give up. I will not give up.
I am rising pride.
Welcome back, and if you're just tuning into your favorite independent television, you're watching Rising Prime, and my guest has been Apostle Eric Israel Okere, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, down to Nigeria. You're welcome back, sir, from the break.
Thank you.
You said you were repairing shoes even for your classmates, and for your headmasters and your principal, and even your teachers. Now, how were you feeling then? Were they not mocking you? Because if you look at our generation now, nobody can do that.
Now, mockery and sustaining yourself through mockery is a product of self-esteem. I believed in the grace of God upon my life. So no matter what anybody says, God gave me some kind of confidence that this is not the end of life. So that's why they mocked me. My classmates mocked me. They, in fact, when I thought, they say shoemaker, shoemaker, and so on and so forth. You know, sometimes when I get up, I say, you think this is shoemaking workshop? Shut up, Enrico, shoemaker, and all that. You know, while I'm talking now, some of them will remember they did that to me. But mockery affects people who lack self-esteem, who do not have self-worth. Now, what gave me self-esteem was the presence of God in my life. When I gave my life to Christ, served Jesus Christ, it gave me a lot of confidence and boldness, and my self-esteem was intact. So call me shoemaker, it doesn't move me. At the end, I was still coming out first in the class. At the end, I was still topping the whole class. When I speak excellently well. So he calls me a shoemaker. It's an advantage. In fact, to me, it's an advert. You're advertising me. Fine, my teachers began to give me shoes to repair, and I repaired them well. So they kept on giving me. So it never affected my self-esteem. Fine, there are times I feel a bit depressed that other children have their parents catering for them, but something tells me your children will not suffer what you are suffering. It's just a season that you are passing through this. It will soon be over. And you know, going to church, you hear your pastor preach, encourage you. That gave me a lot of courage to carry on despite all mockery. And at the end, it worked out well for me.
I am rising pride. No matter what may come my way, I will not give up on life.
I will not give up. I will not give up.
I am rising pride.
Viewers, it's been an awesome time with this man of God all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, Apostle Eric Israel Okere. He has spoken as a philanthropist, he has spoken as a father, he has spoken as a preacher. Now we shall be going into our entertainment section. Please stay with us and have fun.
Just hold on and be strong. It won't be long, it will be alright. When I woke up this morning, looking at myself, it feel like say I'm shining. See the blessings multiplying, just like the birds in the sky I'm flying. So divining, we inclining, take it from me, I see good things are piling. It be okay, coming one day, make we stay cool and keep smiling. Hey, no retreat, no surrender. Don't you give up, don't fight, you're a winner. Easy, it's gonna get easy. Hey, don't you back down, people stand up. If you know you go win, put your hands up. Easy, it's gonna get easy. Hey, just hold on and be strong. It won't be long, it go be alright. Just hold on and be strong. It won't be long, it's gonna be alright. Anyone talk say you know go make them a lie. Hey, on them make you get up for your glory. Just try. Just try, yeah. No forget, say na Baba God give you this life. So no let anything to stop you from going so high. See, it doesn't matter what you do or what you into. You have to believe in yourself and be true. Easy, it's gonna get easy. So don't forget where you're coming from and where you are going. No pain, no gain, keep going. Easy, it's gonna get easy. Just hold on and be strong. It won't be long, it will be alright. Just hold on and be strong. It won't be long, it's gonna be alright. Stand up for something. Don't let your doubting stop you moving. It's not easy, I'm not pretending. To tell you the truth, it takes a lot to working. So I stand in front of you and say, don't give up, cause you will make it one day. Cause winners never win and the winners never quit. If you try and you fail, don't be shy of defeats. Cause it takes a lot of courage to keep on moving. So stand up on your feet, your mistakes don't repeat. Instead you learn from it, rise up, goddamn it. Hey, it's too Baba and Joel, yo. We don't talk our own, yo. If you like make you take a message, okay, yo. If you like make you use, I'm used to work for you. Hey, just hold on and be strong. It won't be long, it will be alright.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the music we played for you. We shall go into the motivational playlist now. Like I do tell you guys, even if you miss any segment of this program, Do not miss the motivational playlet. So enjoy the package we have for you today.
There will never be a point in your life where it's the right time to do a great thing. If you're waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect timing, it's not going to happen. You know what you have to do? You have to create the perfect time and the perfect opportunity and the perfect situation.
So that a lot of people become comfortable. They stop growing. They stop wanting anything. They become satisfied. People getting ready to go to jobs that they don't like. Jobs that are making them sick. You see, when you're not pursuing your goal, you are literally committing spiritual suicide. When you have some goal out here that you're stretching for and reaching for that takes you out of your comfort zone, you'll find out some talents and abilities you have that you didn't know you have. When the messenger of misery visits you, what are you going to do? What will keep you in the game?
There are things that you think you'll never need to know, that you may only need to know one time in your life, but that could save your life because you had that knowledge.
Unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. What is it that you looked at some point in time and you decided that you couldn't do it, that you talked yourself out of it?
You're waiting on your next door neighbor to make it happen for you. It may not happen. If you're waiting on your mother or your father, they may be so ancient in their thinking that they don't understand this opportunity that you have. And if you're waiting on them, it may never get done. You don't beg average people to be phenomenal. You don't beg good people to be phenomenal. You just are phenomenal, and you will attract phenomenal.
What reason can you remember that you can call on, that you can reach on, that can make you get back up? Find that reason.
If you're not where you are, if you're not where you want to be, if you don't have what you want to have, if you're not where you think you should be at this particular place, it has nothing to do with the system, but it has everything to do with the fact that you're not making the sacrifice. I want you to make that dream become a reality, because if you don't, you will be working for somebody else to make their dreams become a reality.
Everybody is against you or don't believe in you no more. And let me tell you something, that's a lonely feeling. It's a lonely feeling, particularly people that you're doing it for. Most people take their greatness, take their ideas to the graveyard with them.
Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. There are people right now who are working who don't want to work. There are people who hate their jobs, but they keep getting up to do it.
The wealthiest place on the planet is the graveyard. Because in the graveyard we will find inventions that we never ever were exposed to. Ideas, dreams that never became reality. Hopes and aspirations that were never acted upon.
Question is, what are you going to do with your time? What drives you? And greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, workout after workout, obedience after obedience, day after day.
When things don't work out for you, when things happen that you could not anticipate, what are the reasons that you can think of that can keep you strong?
You will never ever be successful until you turn your pain into greatness, until you allow your pain to push you from where you are to push you to where you need to be. Stop running from your pain and embrace your pain. Your pain is going to be a part of your prize, a part of your product. I challenge you to push yourself.
See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself.
I mean that what you did last week don't count. Today is the only important day. There are 86,400 seconds in a day, and how you use those are critical. You got 86,400 today, and what you do today is going to cement who you are. Nobody's going to talk about what you did last week.
That the biggest enemy you have to deal with is yourself. There's an old African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm.
You have this opportunity of a lifetime. It means absolutely nothing if you don't take advantage of it in the lifetime of this opportunity.
I got a saying that when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it. See, it's time now. If you want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life. You've got to start saying yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future, yes to your potential, as opposed to saying no.
When you die, die on E. Leave no dream left behind, guys. Leave no opportunity left behind. When you leave this earth, accomplish every single thing you can accomplish. Listen to me, you're going to be here one day, but you'll never get here if you give up, if you give in, if you quit. And finally, guys, you got to want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe.
Welcome back. This is where we draw the curtain for today's edition, and my guest has been Apostle Eric Israel Okere. He is the president of World Changers International Christian Center. He was once a bus conductor in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. He has spoken as a father, he has spoken as a philanthropist. If you are just tuning into your favorite independent television now, you didn't miss out totally. You know how we do it. Just log on your Facebook and search for Rising Prime. There we'll paste a link for you to be able to watch it on YouTube. Like he said, and I quote, "Work is what cures poverty, and whatever you don't work for does not last." So enjoy the rest of your week, and bye for now.
I am rising prime. No matter what may come my way, I will not give up on life anymore. I am rising prime from every ugly situation. I will not give up on life anymore.
I am rising prime. No matter what may come my way, I will not give up on life anymore.
Even if I fall, I will rise again. Even if I fail, I will start all over. All things are possible if I believe.